fellas, I'm gonna keep it as real as I can. Some of you guys have no idea what it is to give everything. You don't give enough. Like, you don't give enough for yourself. Like a sprint. Like, the definition of a sprint is run as hard as you can for a short period of time. That's what a sprint is. Does anybody like not know that? We're pretty clear on that? So when you run a sprint and you run as hard as you can. Does everybody get that? But see, this is the other thing, is when you don't run a sprint, you know what you do for your teammate? It's not just for you. For your teammates, you also say, I won't sell out for you. You don't matter enough to me for me to get really tired. I'd rather be comfortable. I'm not gonna give everything. Because see, we've turned this game of basketball into such a selfish sport. It's really not. It's a 5-on-5 thing. And if you're not willing to sell out for your teammates, then just go play an individual sport. And look, go get a cameraman that can follow you and take all of your highlights so you feel good about yourself. But it comes down to simply running sprints as hard as you can. Man, some of you guys are so, like, you won't give, man. You gotta give more. And it's not just for you. It's for your team. Like, who cares if you're a really good player and you lose every game this year? Who cares? But you got your highlight tape. You can get your highlight tape after the year. Doesn't matter if you lost a lot of games. You can send everybody what you did, right? Or you want to win. And I'm going to tell you, some of you upperclassmen, you're setting an example for the guys that, hey, if you're not going to run hard, why would they run hard? If you're not going to play defense all the time, why would they play defense all the time? It ain't just about you, man. It ain't just about you. Get outside of yourself. You know, one of the things that Greg Popovich, what does he look for in players? What does he look for in players? The first thing he looks for in a player. Come on. Selflessness. He says it. Do you guys know how he says it? He wants players that are over themselves. What's that mean to be over yourself? You care more about the team than yourself. Guys, he has all-stars on his team that he would dig into all the time. Tony Parker, Ginobili, Tim Duncan. He didn't care who they were. He would bark at him just like he barked at the guys at the end of the bench. But he wanted guys that were over themselves. Why do you think there's a bunch of really good players that never wound up on the Spurs? Because they didn't fit. Why do you think the Spurs in 20 years were in the playoffs every year that Coach Popovich was coaching? Because he had a team that were over, like players, individual players were over themselves. Who do you think set the tone for that? He did, initially. And then the players set the tone for it. Some of you guys got to get over yourself. Do it now. Get over yourself now. Because I'll be honest, you're not that big of a deal. Nobody's in the league here. You're not that big of a deal yet. Get over yourself. And if you give 100% every day, you got a chance to be pretty good. You got a chance to be good. No guarantees. But I guarantee you, if you give 75% chance every day, I don't care how talented you are, the guy that will give 100% every day, who do you think is going to get farther? The guy that gives more, right? Will we agree? How many of you guys on your sprints today did not give 100%? No, that last freaking group. So this is the thing. When you're running sprints, who are you running it for? You're running it for yourself to see how much can you give? How hard can you go? Because look, when I was playing in college and I had a teammate that was busting his ass on the sprint line, I knew he would be in help side. I knew he would do he would get on the ground for a loose ball if our team needed that. Because he was doing it already. But when I had the prima donnas that wouldn't run hard because they were too good for that, they didn't want to give anymore, you think I wanted to, as a point guard, that's who I wanted to pass the ball to at the end of the game? No way. I want to pass the ball to the guys I can trust. Those are the guys that give every time. They give and they give. And for some of you older heads here, man, if I was you, I would be laying into some of these cats that aren't giving enough. You guys can do it for your teams, but man, you're always setting the tone. It ain't just about you. 2 swishes from the free throw line and we get out of it. Give more on 3. 1, 2, 3. Give more.